What's up YouTube, this is Shuttleboy and I'm back with yet another video. Today's video we're going to be unboxing the Sega Genesis Mini that just came out recently. So let's get right into it, guys. Alright, so I have said in the past that I was going to unbox this because it's really fun to do videos like this. I don't know why. I know there's not going to be too many people that really care about me making this video right now, but I really enjoyed opening up the NES Mini and then the Super NES as well. So I thought, why not do a video on this one as well. Alright, so here we have the Sega Genesis Mini right here. Yeah, it just looks really cool, the packaging here. The price for this was $80 USD. So I can understand why that might be a bit much for people, but if you keep in mind, I'm gonna show you here that it is worth that $80 without a doubt, in my opinion. As you can see, we have the logo that says include Sonic the Hedgehog, because that's how the original Sega Genesis had, is it did say that in the corner of the box. We also have a 30th anniversary of the Genesis little labeling there. I really like the look of this though, because it maintains the old look while also having a new look to it. So you can see here it says Genesis as the Genesis, and then you got Sonic there. Same thing on the side. Random crap on the bottom. And then it says what this package includes, which is a Genesis Mini, 2 wired controllers, a USB power adapter, a power cable, and an HDMI. So they did not skimp on it, at least in that sense, which is nice. But the cool thing is, which they took note from Nintendo's different ones, is they put this on the back here, and yeah, it says 40 classic games here, and you can see they have, I'm curious if they put, I think they just put it, maybe I'm blind, but it's interesting they put those two up there, but then they didn't put them down here, which is kind of weird to me, but it's whatever. I would have rather they put these somehow to fit with that, but I know that's like the dumbest thing to be picky about. But yeah, you see you have Sonic here, and then you have all these games here. Echo the Dolphin is sweet. We have Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. Earthworm Jim is another one I really like a lot. Obviously Sonic 1 and 2 is always a sweet one, which you have right there. Sonic Spinball I think is pretty cool. Or is that the Robotnik one? I think that's Spinball. But then we also have Shinobi, which is pretty sweet. Gunstar. There's a ton on here. You even have Street Fighter on here and Virtua Fighter, which is pretty cool. Although the Virtua Fighter on here is pretty lame from what I'm hearing. But also you have Tetris, which even though I hear a lot of people hating on the fact they put Tetris on here, that it's like really cool that it's a super rare game, but it's a very bad version of Tetris. Nonetheless, I think it's super sweet. Things like that, putting an unreleased game on there is nonetheless a very cool concept to me. I think that's awesome either way. Even if it's a bad game, I think it's not shying away from the 40 games you were included. These were a bonus game. So I think this is an awesome touch, and just makes this even more worthwhile. So I really like the back all in all, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into opening this, hopefully not ruining the box. It wasn't even taped sealed, so that's nice, but also a little weird. Then opening it up. So first thing we see here is we have a power cable thing, which no branding whatsoever. I was curious if it had Sega branding, but there's no branding on this at all. Let's just get the crap out of here. Let's get the wires out of here. Let's get the other wire out of here, which is HDMI, which it's always nice that people always give you that with it. Then, I'm only gonna open one of these for now. But then we have, you can see the wire and the controller itself. Man, this thing is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought maybe they'd miniaturize it, but this is without a doubt a Genesis controller. You got the A, B, C, the start, and then the control pad. Feels really nice in hand. Like I said, I wasn't like someone that played a Genesis when I was a kid, so I don't really have any opinions on the quality versus the original or anything like that, but I am very excited to try out a lot of these games I never got to try out, and ones that I have gotten to try out on different consoles, and this is super sweet. It's really cool to play with one of these. I'm curious to see how I assimilate to this controller, being I've always played with Nintendo controllers pretty much. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel about this whole ABC and then the start being over there. But very cool, because you do end up getting 2 of these. I will not open the other one, but I will show you that it is indeed in here, as you can see. So we're just going to leave that to the side for now. Then we also have this little pamphlet. This is Sega Genesis Mini. It's an instruction manual, and we don't need that. We like to wing things out here on Shuttleboy's channel. But then, as you see in here, nothing else in the box. So it's nice that I didn't have to ruin the box at all. I did not ruin it in the slightest. But then we have the console inside its own separate box. A nice little touch that they did here, which I really like. To open this up here, and bang, bang, we got it in a sleeve, but we'll slide it out here. Wow, man, this is sweet. So if you cannot tell, this is basically just a miniature version, as the name suggests, of the Sega Genesis Mini. And if you put a controller next to it, which this is an original sized controller, it's about the size of the dang controller, guys, which is pretty cool. I'm very curious. I do not have my NES and SNES Classic up at this apartment right now, so I'm unable to compare it to that. That would have been really cool to do, but nonetheless, it is pretty much, from what I remember, the same proportions to those. I'm curious if they took that into account when they made it, but this is going to be super cool to put next to those two. And you can see we have the different things here, which are actually adjustable. We have the volume, which adjusts, and then we have the on and off, which I'm assuming will be the thing you use, and the reset, which I'm assuming works as well. But I am told that the volume does nothing, but it's still an amazing touch that they still did that. You even have the vent here, which obviously has no use for this console, this mini version. And then, yeah, you can see it says high definition graphics, Sega Genesis 16-bit, and then you have the power on light, which I'm assuming lights up once we turn it on if plugged in. Then we got the bottom, which is nothing too crazy, but it still looks pretty cool. Now actually, I just took off this side part here, and you can see that just like the original Genesis, it does have a spot where you could plug in your Sega CD, which I thought was a very nice touch. They actually ended up making a physical version that goes with this of the Sega CD, and it was a non-working version, just a model version that you put to connect through here and put under this, but it was only released, I believe, in Japan, which I thought was a weird touch, but they sent it to influencers, so that's a dang shame, because I would have definitely bought it just for the looks on this, but we'll have to go without it. And then last but not least, let's take off that glossy coating, and you can see it all in all its glory. I'm gonna try not to touch that shiny part, but you also see here you have a spot that actually you could put a cartridge in, which I think is a very sweet touch. Obviously you're not going to put any cartridge in here, other than if you got that promo thing I was talking about before, but this is nonetheless an amazing looking thing here. We got the controller here, we got the Sega Genesis Mini here, and then we have the awesome box, which I'm going to keep in pristine condition to put next to my other boxes. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video in general. I know it's a really weird one. I know this isn't typically what I do on this channel, but it was still really fun nonetheless for me, and that's what I really enjoy about this, is just doing different fun things on YouTube. Not always has to be the same thing, golf wang every time, but I don't know, I like to do it. Keeps me sane, keeps me interested, because I like to just share my love for other things and stuff. But that's gonna conclude the video anyways. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already for more golf wang, more sneakers, more clothing, more Shuttleboy. And this is Shuttleboy, guys, and I'm out, guys.